We've got some wintry weather on the way this week as we count down the days to Labour weekend. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us. Hope you had a great weekend. Well, this week the weather is certainly getting a little bit colder if you live in the lower South Island. To be honest with you, as a weather forecaster, spring weather doesn't really surprise me that much. I'm always expecting when's the next cold blast, when's the next wet, windy day. But quite a few of you sort of have this feeling that spring sort of slowly just gets warmer and better, but it doesn't really work that way. It tends to go up and down. And this week, we've got some of that down. We've got some of the colder weather coming back as a result of high pressure out over Australia, low pressure down here in the Southern Ocean, and the two are working together to dredge up a colder airflow. So to try and make sense of it, just take a look here at the departure from normal. This is how much hotter or cooler it is at the warmest part of the day in the afternoons. So as you can see for Monday, most of the colouring here actually indicates a little bit warmer than average or bang on average. So it's a fairly mild day or a normal day for Monday. On Tuesday, you can see that colder airflow starting to move in around the south of the South Island and also a little bit up here around the southeastern part of the North Island. Otherwise, Tuesday's a fairly average day for this time of the year. But it's Wednesday when you start to notice the effects of the colder southerly right up the eastern half of the South Island and into most of the North Island. That's around Wednesday. So this week is going to get colder before it gets warmer. It warms up really for some people actually not until about Saturday. So let's make it a little bit clearer for you as I put up the more confusing map. But anyway, this is Tuesday, and I just wanted to show you this messy map because it shows you what is going on in the South Island. The dark green indicates heavy rain, the blue indicates snow showers, and the pale green indicates a few spits or a few showers. So the west coast, Southland, looking a bit bleak on Tuesday with snow flurries up in the mountains and ranges again, and the grey you see here indicates cloudy weather with the westerly winds blowing through for many places. So really the place to be for sun and a bit of warmth, Bay of Plenty, Gisborne and Hawke's Bay, they look like the best places on Tuesday. Here is the air pressure map. You can see what we mean about that colder southerly coming into the lower south. Elsewhere, windy west to southwest winds. It'll be blustery in exposed areas. Temperatures, though, on Tuesday, as I just said before, are mostly normal, although it gets a little bit colder in the lower part of the North Island and the lower part of the South Island. And then we get to Wednesday, and as I say, that's the colder day for the North Island. You can clearly see why. We've got low pressure just out to the east, high pressure out to our northwest, and the two are helping to dredge up a colder, windier southerly. So Wednesday is going to feel wintry in a number of main centres across the country. The place to be will be the west coast. It'll be sunniest over there and mildest as well. But definitely a bit of a rough day on Wednesday in a number of regions. And there may be just a few of the smaller regional plains just having a few delays just because of the rough weather, low cloud, rain, that sort of thing. So maybe just a few sort of lower end travel issues around on Wednesday. Here's Thursday's setup. Again, still windy. Still windy. Hello to any Wendy's watching, by the way. It'll be windy on Thursday with the west to southwest winds blowing through, and in fact, still even a little bit south-southwest. You know, these westerly quarter winds can swing almost directly south and directly north. Basically, anywhere on this side is where the wind flow is coming from. So a south-southwest wind on Thursday, still a bit cold around the lower part of New Zealand with gusty winds continuing elsewhere. So let me try and find you some positive news. Here on Friday, the winds are still blowing through, but as the day wears on, they start to ease, and by evening, they fade in a number of places. It's still a bit blustery up here around Auckland and maybe a couple of other areas on Friday, but high pressure is right here. And our final map for Saturday shows the wind starting to turn more northwest. Now, Labour weekend, in my experience, it's usually messed up. We normally have one day that's sort of unsettled, one day that is perfectly lovely, and the other one that's sort of a bit of both. And I think this year will be just the same. So I think Saturday will be a dry day in many regions, although becoming windy. Sunday looks windier, and Sunday maybe a bit wetter for some places. So we'll lock in that forecast in the next couple of days. I know a lot of you really want to know about it. That is all from me. Have a good week ahead. It will be a little bit windier and a little bit cooler, but as I just said, things warm up on Saturday. Warm nor'west is coming back. You'll be looking at 20 degrees in some places that are going to get a few snow flurries in the next few days ahead. And the last thing, if you are worried about snow flurries, most of them are above about 3 or 4 or 500 meters. It is not low-level snow, but it is a cold snap this week. So for newborn livestock, the very newborn ones, if there are any still, it's a bit late in the season, but just in case, just be aware the wind chill will be a bit rough for the next couple of days in the lower South Island. That's all from me. We'll see you again on Tuesday.